Good evening. Welcome to Metro Focus. I'm Jack Ford. More than a week after Hurricane Maria hammered Puerto Rico, the roughly 3.5 million American citizens who live there are desperately waiting for more aid to arrive. For many, the situation has become desperate. Nearly half the island lacks drinking water, generator power is limited, and lines for food, gas, and cash stretch for hours. 97% of the island still has no power. Puerto Rico's governor warns that many thousands will die unless a lot more resources arrive very quickly. Now, New York lawmakers are calling on the federal government to step up its relief efforts and increase emergency funding for the island. Joining me now is one of those lawmakers. New York State Assemblyman Luis Sepulveda is also a member of the state legislature's Puerto Rican Hispanic Task Force, and we are delighted to have him here with us on Metro Focus. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let me start with the bigger picture, if I can. The mayor of San Juan recently said this has become a life and death battle. Is that an exaggeration, or is that in fact what we're seeing on the island?
Oh, I don't think you can fully appreciate the words of the governor unless you are on the island of Puerto Rico. I mean, imagine, you have no electricity in an island that has 90, 95-degree weather during the day. People can't store their medicines, insulin, for example. You have areas that are still isolated because the roads are in such poor conditions. So you can't get supplies. You have supplies on docks that can't get into the center and the mountainous parts of the island because of the safety issue in the roads. You have hospitals that are in need of diesel. Not all the hospitals are still open, and those that are, there is a severe shortage of diesel still. You have cell phone towers. I think you have about 1,600 cell phone towers on the island of Puerto Rico, and less than 500 are functioning. Imagine living in a condition like that with this heat. It's unbearable, and people are going to die. The count, I think, is teetering around 16 to 30 people that have died. I think when all is said and done, you're going to have a couple of hundred people that have perished because of this. So many reasons why.
Yeah, that's my question to you. Is what you mentioned a couple of things. You mentioned about the state of the roads and some of the infrastructure in the mountainous areas.
Right.
But yet we've seen other relief efforts be fairly successful given other types of obstacles. What do you think the particular obstacles are here that's impeding this process?
Well, for one thing is that the infrastructure in the island was really in poor conditions. That's a problem because, if you're going to call it the way you have to call it, Puerto Rico is an economic colony of the United States. The United States controls policy there, controls the dollar, controls the economy, and has created an environment where, and partially also because of mismanagement of local elected officials, where you have a massive amount of debt on the island, $73 billion. So the telephone lines, the electrical companies, they don't have the money. They can't finance upgrading this infrastructure. As a result, electrical lines are above ground. That's a problem. That's why the entire island is literally without electricity. We needed more action. We needed FEMA. We needed the president to mention some sort of relief package immediately. Unfortunately, he was too focused on the NFL and not focusing on what's important to this community. So we think that although FEMA is now acting, although the president is taking more action, it was a little late. Of course, better never than late. Even today, we have another vestige, I believe, of an economic colony that is Puerto Rico to the United States, is the Jones Act, which even senators and representatives from both sides of the aisle said it's time to repeal it. It creates
not very well known, by the way.
No,
rarely utilized.
What you have here are...
Explain for our viewers
Sure.
what that means and what the relaxation of the Jones Act could potentially mean for
Absolutely.
the
What the Jones Act says that any shipping company has to be ships that are built by American companies, that are manned by American companies, and flagged with American flags. They have a monopoly on the shipping industry, what goes in and out of the island. And so this monopoly artificially inflates the cost of products to Puerto Ricans on the island.
And it was preventing an influx of the materials that were necessary.
Exactly. Other ships if any other ships that were flagged by other countries wanted to bring relief goods to the island, they had to pay a penalty at customs unless you relax the Jones Act. The president did so, but only for 10 days. And it doesn't include aircraft, which is probably the most critical component we have now for relief aids, helicopters, things like that, what we need. And so that prevented goods from other countries that could have brought closer to the island from being delivered to the island.
Let me ask you something. You mentioned the idea of the fact that Puerto Ricans are American citizens.
That's correct.
Many people don't know that.
Yes, they are natural-born citizens.
Right. And I've seen and heard folks on the island as part of this and expressing their opinions that they believe that Puerto Rico was not getting the same attention that Texas got, that Florida got, and their opinions that they voiced was, well, that's because people don't look at us truly as American citizens. Do you think there's any legitimacy to that complaint?
Oh, well, absolutely. I believe that if Puerto Rico was an island of people who spoke English and looked more like Americans, whatever that means, that you would have had a lot more resources on that island a lot quicker. Look what happened with Texas and Florida, right? There was a relaxation immediately of the Jones Act, no time frame of 10 days. And FEMA and the president were out there making comments, and the president was using his bully pulpit to get attention to it. You know, that didn't happen here. It happened much later. And so Puerto Ricans are American citizens. We have 3.5 American citizens that are suffering in ways that I don't think you would see in Florida or Texas. So, you know, the only difference that I can see is different language, different culture, different history to some degree.
What are you hopeful that New York State can do to help with this enormous recovery effort?
Well, I'm very proud to say that both the governor, Governor Cuomo, and the mayor have taken the lead, have been very proactive. The governor flew out there early on, brought some relief. We are, as legislators, especially legislators of Hispanic descent, I mean, not just, even though I was born and raised in Brooklyn and Queens and the Bronx, but my family was born and raised in Puerto Rico. And many of legislators that are of Hispanic descent are making efforts, not just Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and so forth, are making efforts to collect. This state has been fantastic. I'm full of pride to see how young men and women that are of Puerto Rican descent don't really understand the culture as much as they should. But everyone is stepping up and bringing relief, because we have the borough president of the Bronx, Ruben Diaz, and Senator Diaz, and a group of us are sending about 4 or 5 truckloads of goods to the island. We're collecting on Saturday. We welcome everyone to come on Southern Boulevard and Aldous Avenue. I'm sorry for the plug, but we try to get this out there.
Absolutely. I'm glad you did.
But I think New York State has shown by example how we are to take care of our brothers and sisters that are American citizens. We can't lose sight of the fact many of these war veterans that live in an island that's treated like realities for many reasons like second-class citizens. They get different benefits, social service benefits. Soldiers, you know, you have one VA hospital in Puerto Rico that's falling apart, and for over 10 years, they have been trying to get funds allocated to build a new VA hospital or another VA hospital. A Puerto Rican soldier has to travel an average of 25 miles to get service on the island. So we have to step up, and we have to stop treating Puerto Rico like an economic colony, respect us, and we have to all remember that we're all American citizens. We all honor and value our flag, and we all fight for this country and have protected this country.
It's a great message. Assemblyman, thanks for spending some time with us. Hope we get you back again and you can give us an update on how things are doing. But thanks so much for taking some time with us.
Well, thank you for inviting, because you're spreading the word out there, and we need all the help we can get.
We appreciate it. A reminder for you out there, if you want more information on New York's ongoing relief efforts and on how you can help, you can visit ny.gov and follow the New York Stands with Puerto Rico link.